What's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I want to highlight a free game over at Humble right now. Has been available for a little bit, but I've been MIA for the last few days, so I did want to highlight that game, and it's a game that I've talked quite a bit about on this channel a couple of years ago when it was released. Uploaded a lot of gameplay of it and played it quite a bit, so I do have some insight on that game. Also, Sega is running a solid publisher sale over on Steam right now. I guess Steam is running the sale, but it's a Sega publisher sale. A lot of great games discounted as a part of that sale, and I do want to give you guys a quick overview on that. And lastly, No Man's Sky is getting its next major update with No Man's Sky Beyond. This game has just been a crazy story over the last few years. If you guys remember when it was released back in August of 2016, it was one of the biggest train wrecks ever released on PC. I uploaded gameplay of it. I crapped on this game pretty hard, but it has made an absolutely incredible comeback over the last few years, and No Man's Sky Beyond is going to continue that. We'll take a little bit of a look at that at the end of this video. First up, over at Humble, you can get a free copy of Grid 2 right now. Grid 2 is a racing game that was released a couple of years ago, and again, I actually have quite a bit of footage of this game on my channel, so if you guys are curious in checking it out, I think I even did like a walkthrough of the game for a little bit. Definitely didn't complete it, but it's a pretty good racing title. I would say give it a look, even if you're not the biggest fan of racing games. It does go for $29.99, so at the very least, add it to your library and play it sometime down the line. The PC's racing offerings are pretty in-depth at this point, so in terms of quality, it's not really competing with the top-tier PC racers. I mean, PC players can play Forza Horizon. We've got games like Burnout Paradise. There are a lot of high-quality racing titles available on PC, so Grid 2 definitely, in my opinion, doesn't rank up with the elite racers, but it's a pretty good title in its own right, and to get it for free, that is great. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. I do believe you have to link your account, but it's pretty easy to get it, and it will be available on your Steam account as well, so that's pretty cool. So that will be available free for the next 24 hours or so. It has been free for the last 72 hours or so, so some of you guys probably already checked it out, but if you have yet to, definitely give it a look. Again, link in the description box below. Next up, I do want to also highlight the Sega publisher sale that Steam is running right now. A lot of the Sega games are on sale. I think pretty much every Sega game is on sale. All the Total War titles are discounted. See, Total War Napoleon down to $624, Total War Empire down to $624, Total War Medieval 2 down to $624, Shogun 2 is on sale, Total War Attila is on sale. Of course, I'm not a gigantic fan of the Total War titles, but I know a lot of you guys dig it, so definitely not bad buys there. What I like from Sega is in the Best of Japan section, you've got games like Bayonetta, that's 75% off for $4.99. I do believe that's a new low on that, so that's a great game at a great price. Unfortunately, we're not getting Bayonetta 2 or Bayonetta 3 on PC. Those are Nintendo published titles and will be Nintendo exclusive, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but still, I would give Bayonetta 1 a recommendation. It's a Platinum Games title, high octane action. You guys know what to expect out of that. And speaking of Platinum Games, Vanquish is also on sale, same price here, 75% off for $4.99. Another game that I absolutely love. The issue with Vanquish is that it's a really short game, so when this game was released on the PS3 and 360, they were charging $60 for it, and you guys can see how that turned out. When it is a 4 to 5 hour game and it's $60, that is just not gonna fly with a lot of gamers. So commercially, Vanquish was actually a pretty big flop. However, if you just assess it from the gameplay that you do have, it is an absolute blast of a game, just a super fast third-person shooter. Of course, I wouldn't recommend it at a full $60, but it released on PC, pretty good port, and it released at a budget price of $20 and now available for $5. Of course, I would give it a strong recommendation. Like I said, it also runs pretty well, so give that a look. One of the forgotten gems in gaming over the last 10 years or so. Catherine Classic is also on sale, not a deep discount considering it is a relatively recent release, but you can get that 25% off for $15. It's just hard to recommend that game because we do know that PlayStation 4 is going to get the definitive version of Catherine with Catherine Full Body Edition. I imagine that that'll come to PC at some point, and hopefully we just get it as a free update to Catherine Classic. I know that might be asking a little bit too much because I do believe Full Body is being released at like $50 on the PlayStation 4. So yeah, probably won't be a free update. If anything, I think best case scenario would be that if you own Catherine Classic, you'll get a discount on Catherine Full Body Edition. That's typically what they do. But if you've been eager to play Catherine, it is a great puzzle game with a very interesting story. 25% off isn't a steep discount, but again, it's a very recent release, and they already priced it pretty well at $20 from the get-go, so I would give that a recommendation as well. All the Sonic games are on sale as well, and these are some great buys. Sonic Mania is 66% off for $6.79. That is a great deal, and they just removed De Novo from that, so that's awesome. Sonic Generations and the Casino Night DLC is available for $5. Sonic Generations is one of the best recent Sonic games, and when I say recent, this game was released all the way back in 2011. Can't believe it's been 8 years since this game came out, but Sonic Generations is absolutely awesome. It combines both Sonic styles in the 3D Sonic and the 2D Sonic, so it was celebrating 20 years of Sonic. It's got have great visuals, and that fundamental Sonic gameplay is there in full force. Sonic Adventure 2 is 75% off for $2.49. This is one of the most iconic Sonic game in the entire franchise. Many see it as the best game in the franchise, and I think I'm in agreement with that. It looks like some people have had issues with Sonic Adventure 2 on PC. I personally haven't, and I played through the entirety of it on PC, but you can pick it up, and if you do have any issues, of course, Steam does offer refunds, so it's really not a big deal in that sense. Company of Heroes 2 is also 75% off for $4.99. While I said I'm not a big fan of strategy games, Company of Heroes 2 was one that really won me over, and I would give that a strong recommendation. However, that game has been free before, so that is something to note. And who knows, it might be free in the future as well. So those are all the deals I wanted to go over as a part of that. Unfortunately, the Yakuza titles are not on sale, but I do believe Fanatical has had Yakuza 0 on sale. They still might have it, but what is on sale as a part of the Sega publisher sale is quite good. So give it a look. Again, I would personally recommend Bayonetta, Vanquish. The Sonic games are really good, and if you're into strategy titles, Total War ain't a bad buy either. And lastly, I do want to quickly talk about No Man's Sky, as its next big update has been detailed in No Man's Sky Beyond. Sean Murray of Hello Games put out a post saying this: "We know that there is a lot of hunger out there for news and updates on No Man's Sky. We wanted to share some information from behind the scenes. Our next chapter will be called No Man's Sky Beyond, coming summer 2019. Each chapter for No Man's Sky has been more successful than the last thanks to our community. Next, our large release last year was especially so. It went on to bring enjoyment to millions of new players, and it helped to change the legacy of this game we care so much about. Earlier this year, while working on our roadmap of 3 future updates, we decided we wanted to interweave their features and had a vision for something much more impactful. We are excited to announce that Beyond will contain those 3 major updates rolled into one larger free release. The first component of Beyond we are announcing today is No Man's Sky Online. No Man's Sky Online includes a radical new social and multiplayer experience which empowers players everywhere in the universe to meet and play together. While this brings people together like never before and has many recognizable online elements, we don't consider No Man's Sky to be an MMO. It won't require a subscription, won't contain microtransactions, and will be free for all existing players. So that's the first of No Man's Sky's Beyond's major updates. The other 2 will be detailed in the coming weeks, but man, No Man's Sky, again, this is a game that has made an absolutely absurd comeback. I just remember talking about this game back in 2016, and everybody was crapping all over it. Now, one of the main reasons people were so upset with the game was the PC performance. The PC performance was an absolute train wreck, and it just ran very poorly. I believe back then I was trying to play the game on a GTX 970 or a 980, and it just wasn't running very well. However, after multiple updates, probably at this state we should have gone at it from the get-go. However, better late than never, and in the case of No Man's Sky, this could have been a game where Hello Games released the title. It sold relatively well on PC and PlayStation 4, and they could have said, alright, that was a failure, let's move on to the next project. But no, they stayed committed to No Man's Sky, and you see the experience that it has turned out to be now in 2019. And that's why I always say, even though everyone's crapping on Anthem right now, everybody's crapping on Fallout 76, these games can always make a comeback. Hell, I point to games like The Elder Scrolls Online and Final Fantasy XIV. Those games weren't the best from the get-go either, and now in 2019 you see what those games have become. No Man's Sky, another perfect example of that. Am I advocating for games to be bad on release day? No, but I'm also open-minded enough to know that the ship can be turned around, and that's perfectly the case with No Man's Sky. Now, it should be noted that if you go on Steam, No Man's Sky's user reviews are still not all that great, but you'll notice that all reviews all time have it at 50% mixed, but recent reviews are actually much more positive at 73% mostly positive, and the game just continues to get better and better. I would not pay $60 for the game, as that's what it's still priced at on Steam. Wait for a sale when this game is down to $30 or $20. That's the perfect buy for it. At $60, just too expensive, especially because it is a couple years old. But think about it this way, people were paying $60 for the bare bones version back in 2016. Now you're getting a much more compelling, much more complete version of the game, and you can get that at a much cheaper price. So why not? At some point, I would recommend you guys to give NMS another chance, especially if you played it back in the day. Well, it's turning out to be quite the compelling experience. And again, that's going to conclude this video, guys. I'll leave a link in the description box down below where you can get Grid absolutely free. The Sega Publisher Sale is running right now on Steam. Some good deals as a part of that, and No Man's Sky's next major update will be No Man's Sky Beyond. That's dropping this summer. It'll include No Man's Sky Online and 2 other major updates. That's gonna wrap up this one. If you guys have a request for a future video, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.